As he was thinking, an agent from the control center suddenly appeared and called out to him from a distance, motioning for him to follow. Seo Dojun turned to him calmly, wondering what he wanted. Several agents in official uniforms approached and informed him they were from the control center, requesting that he show proof of being a registered hero, otherwise he would need to come with them to the center. Seo Dojun responded mockingly and dismissively, questioning if they really were from the control center. One of the agents firmly demanded that Seo Dojun comply with their orders immediately. At that moment, Seo Dojun showed clear irritation with their persistence, responding sharply that they were seriously annoying. The agents began to grow tense due to Seo Dojun's reaction. One of them told his colleague to bring the cuffs so they could detain him, insisting that he cooperate. They warned that if he refused, they might have to use physical force. Indeed, one of the agents grabbed Seo Dojun's arm in an attempt to restrain him, while another warned him that any injuries resulting from his resistance would be his own responsibility, and that it would be best if he just came with them quietly to the control center. Seo Dojun continued his confrontation with the control center agents, effortlessly deflecting the agent who had tried to restrain him. The agent was shocked by Seo Dojun's unexpected strength. Seo Dojun looked at them coldly and told them not to bother him and to leave immediately. The rest of the agents quickly attempted to intervene, drawing their weapons to subdue him by force. They used special batons, releasing a 4th-rank magic seal in an attempt to restrict his movements. Seo Dojun noticed the strength of the magic used and commented to himself that it might be effective against monsters like orcs, but it wasn't enough to stop him. Seo Dojun swiftly overpowered one of the agents, grabbing him with ease, causing the agent to scream in intense pain. He turned to the remaining agents with a serious tone, warning them this was their last chance, and that if they didn't want to get hurt, they should back off immediately. The agents tried to attack again, but Seo Dojun moved at incredible speed and struck first. He successfully deflected their simultaneous attacks with little effort. They attacked again, but he countered and pushed them back with direct, powerful blows. Seo Dojun continued his assault with overwhelming force, using precise combat techniques that allowed him to defeat the agents with complete ease. He knocked one of them to the ground with a powerful strike, leaving him unable to continue fighting. He then quickly turned toward the last remaining agent, preparing to finish the confrontation. The remaining agent felt immense tension from Seo Dojun's unprecedented power. Seo Dojun gave him a sharp glare, clearly showing he had the strength to defeat them all. Seo Dojun suddenly vanished from the agent's sight with astonishing speed, leaving the agent confused and deeply unsettled by what just happened. Seo Dojun reappeared behind the agent and landed a powerful direct blow that dropped him to the ground, rendering him unable to stand. The agent found himself lying on the ground, unable to rise, groaning in pain. Seo Dojun turned to him again, speaking calmly and confidently. Seo Dojun asked the agent why the control center hunted down unregistered heroes, to which the agent explained that registered heroes don't face issues unless they break rules inside the gates. Seo Dojun then asked sharply about rift zones, causing the agent to grow fearful and confused. Rift zones are defined as passages to other worlds where strange monsters appear and spread across the globe, and the resources obtained from these monsters are used as a new form of energy. Zones that are fully controlled by the government and prevent monsters from escaping are classified as gates, while areas that are still unknown and not yet stabilized are called rift zones. Seo Dojun angrily explained that the agents would continue to hunt him in every gate he entered, accusing them of targeting him for unauthorized entry. The agent, now extremely frightened, confirmed the truth of Seo Dojun's words, adding that whenever an unregistered hero enters a gate without permission, the control center is automatically alerted, and nearby agents are dispatched immediately. Seo Dojun continued speaking with the control center agent, who was visibly fearful and confused. The agent tried to explain that rift zones weren't as accessible as gates, and that the Hero Association would not sit idly by if someone tried to breach them. Seo Dojun replied indifferently, showing no concern for his threats. The agent grew angry, realizing he should have reported Seo Dojun to headquarters from the start, calling him insane and dangerous. But before he could take any further action, he was struck by a powerful blow from Seo Dojun, which sent him flying and crashing violently to the ground. Seo Dojun looked down at the fallen agent with scorn, calling him a worthless person. As the agent began to rise with difficulty, he screamed in rage, vowing to kill Seo Dojun the next time they met. At that moment, the scene suddenly shifted strangely within Seo Dojun's mind, revealing a distorted and mysterious image of someone screaming loudly. Seo Dojun began to hear a voice, close to his scream, expressing great suffering. He felt as if he were gradually losing consciousness, being pulled into something unknown, and began to wonder if this was death. He then recalled seeing the clear features of his former self before he had entered this body, eyes calm and staring directly at the old Seo Dojun. He was suspended in the air, surrounded by a strange light, as if trapped between the sky and the earth. That figure then calmly asked for Seo Dojun's name. The former Seo Dojun introduced himself, saying he felt he was on the verge of death. He added quietly that if his request was granted, he would disappear peacefully without causing trouble. But the other man firmly rejected the request. Seo Dojun was surprised by this statement and didn't know how to respond at first. The other explained that he had no more attachment to life, that after fighting for 10 years, he had been betrayed by a comrade he trusted. His country was completely destroyed, and he lost his friends and family as well. He spoke with deep sorrow about a life that felt meaningless no matter how hard he tried. He then addressed Seo Dojun directly, asking him whether he felt the same way. Seo Dojun expressed his hope that the lives of those family and loved ones who remained wouldn't turn out like his own, even if his life had been miserable. The other sighed and asked Seo Dojun, with interest, what he truly wanted, in the simplest possible terms. Seo Dojun placed his hand on his chest and said clearly that what he truly desired was something he hadn't yet expressed. Then the scene shifted once again to reveal the Gasan Digital Complex in Gumcheon District, Seoul, now known as the Hero Complex, where businesses trading in gate-derived products far outnumber IT companies. Seo Dojun walked calmly through the street amid the bustle of people and the noise of everyday life. He stopped in front of one of the shops, wondering to himself whether this would be the right place to take his next step. At a store specializing in buying mana stones, a young clerk greeted Seo Dojun with a routine welcome. Seo Dojun explained to the clerk that he wanted to sell the mana stones he had collected. He emptied the contents of his bag onto the table, revealing a collection of magic stones still stained with traces of blood. The clerk was surprised and visibly uncomfortable at the sight of the blood on the stones, silently grumbling about how people should clean their stones before bringing them in. Nevertheless, he calmly informed Seo Dojun that he had quite a lot of stones, and that it would take some time to sort through them. The clerk offered Seo Dojun a cup of coffee while he waited, to which Seo Dojun replied curtly that anything would do. Seo Dojun sat and drank his coffee with calm detachment, while the clerk busily sorted through the stones. Once finished, the clerk detailed the contents: 12 low-grade stones, 16 mid-grade stones, and 5 slightly high-grade stones. He then announced that the store's commission was 40%, bringing Seo Dojun's total payout to around 6 million won. Seo Dojun cut him off angrily, objecting to the high commission rate and pointing out that he was the one who did all the hunting and hard work, so why should the store take 40% of the earnings? The clerk replied with a smug smile, explaining that other stores usually take 45%, and that this was actually a better deal. He then told Seo Dojun that if he didn't want to sell, he could take the stones and leave, challenging him by saying he wouldn't find a better deal anywhere else. Seo Dojun responded coldly and decided not to complete the transaction, taking his stones to sell elsewhere. But as he turned to leave, the clerk quickly grabbed his arm, demanding payment for the sorting, the coffee, the blood cleaning, and the cleaning towel, amounting to a total fee of 360,000 won. Seo Dojun firmly stated he had no money to pay the fee, daring the clerk to take it from him by force if he could. The clerk smiled wickedly and warned Seo Dojun that he had backup from C-rank heroes, calling him a nuisance. Suddenly, a group of large, hostile-looking men entered the store, having been called in by the clerk. The burly man leading them asked why they'd been summoned and whether someone was causing trouble. Seo Dojun exchanged a cold, sharp glare with the large man, causing a heavy tension in the air. The clerk began to feel scared and anxious about how things were unfolding. In an instant, Seo Dojun launched a swift and unexpected attack on the large man, knocking him down with a single powerful punch. The man fell to the floor, unable to move or fight back. Seo Dojun then calmly looked at the rest of the men, who had also fallen easily before his strength. He slowly walked toward the terrified clerk, and coolly informed him that from now on, the commission would be only 1%. Seo Dojun gave the clerk a chilling, quiet smile, instructing him to handle things more smoothly and respectfully in the future. As he left, he promised the clerk that he'd be back again later. The scene then shifts to Seo Dojun's family home, where he threw a large sum of money onto the table in front of his grandmother and sister, who were both shocked at the sight. His grandmother asked in clear amazement where all this money had come from, stunned and bewildered by what her grandson had done. Seo Do-jun sat comfortably on the floor, trying to justify the large amount of money he had given to his grandmother and sister by saying that he had lent it to a friend some time ago, and that friend had used the money in a very successful project. His grandmother looked at him with suspicion, feeling that the story didn't sound realistic. She asked him, clearly doubtful if he really had a friend like that. Seo Do-jun tried to ease her doubts by explaining that this friend was someone from his past, from a different place where he had grown up. His grandmother appeared to accept the explanation as she held the money, but she still seemed uneasy. His younger sister Onyong excitedly asked him if that meant they were rich now. Seo Do-jun smiled warmly.